this week, right now, could be one of the most important weeks in world history. Silver price, gold price, platinum price, are they barreling towards what could be the best year we've had in a long, long time? We're hearing people say that this week, right now, could be one of the most important weeks in world history. Yes, we're talking about the big Brics meeting. Let's unpack what's going on and see if this is indeed a good sign for the silver price, the gold price, and the platinum price as we head into the next year, 5 years, 10 years, because there is a lot going on. And if you watch mainstream media in a Western country, you likely don't even know what is happening right now because the big Western media companies are not covering the critical importance of what the Brics countries are doing. Let's run through some of the facts right now. We have Goldman Sachs saying that by 2050, the Brics countries will dominate the world. Yes, Goldman Sachs, a USA-based company, is saying that. They're talking about a rebalance of the world order. And we're not just talking about one little component of the world order. We have to realize these Brics countries control a dominant amount of the world's oil. They're talking about redoing currency arrangements, trade arrangements. Militarily, we're talking about a rebalance of order in the world. Things are changing quickly, and we have to recognize that the Brics countries, when it comes to precious metals, gold, silver, and platinum, they hold these metals in a completely different regard than we do in the West. It's almost exactly opposite. Whether you're talking about the people of India, the people of China, the people of Russia, the people of Brazil and South Africa, or if you're talking about their governments, either way, they hold silver, gold, and platinum in a much higher regard. If you're looking to buy gold, silver, or platinum, do yourself a favor and check out Pimbex, the online precious metals bullion dealer and sponsor of Ron's Basement. I was a happy customer before they offered to support the channel. You'll find they have the best prices, quality, and service. I think Pimbex is best, and you will too. And be sure to tell them that you're from Ron's Basement. Who's not invited? Well, you don't see the United States on the invite list. You don't see France. You don't see Germany. You don't see Canada. You don't see the United Kingdom. But you do see countries that represent a large and growing portion of the world's economy, of the world's population. And that should make us all in the West very, very concerned. Some people are calling this the greatest threat to the United States hegemony that possibly we've ever faced after World War II. The top subject at this meeting will be de-dollarization, moving away from the U.S. dollar. Whether we're talking about as a reserve currency or if we're talking about it as a trade currency, there's all kinds of talk about new trade arrangements, new currency arrangements, the potential for a shared common currency amongst the Brics countries, and even talk that it could at some point, we're not expecting that from this meeting, but that we could see a gold-backed currency used within those countries or a gold-backed digital currency that would be represented by real physical gold. What do you think that would do for the value of your gold, for the value of your silver? We're at a tipping point, guys. We have to realize 3.2 billion people are represented by these Brics countries. To put that into perspective for you, that's almost 10 times the population of the United States. They're growing. Their economies are growing at a much faster pace than what we have in the United States. Their middle class is growing at a much faster pace because our middle class in the United States is shrinking right now. So while our middle class, our consumer class is shrinking, in the Brics countries, they have middle classes that are expanding and growing. And don't forget what we talked about earlier. Those people love precious metals. In India, in China, in Russia, gold, silver are looked at as an investment, a way to preserve wealth. Now, you and I, we know that whole story, right? You're a basement dweller. And by the way, thank you for joining me here in the basement. You know you're always welcome here. It's a big honor to me that you're here. This is called YouTube, not RonTube. So please subscribe, share this video, and give it a thumbs up. But we know those middle classes are expanding and they have a real affinity for the precious metals. What do you think that's going to do for demand for silver, gold, and platinum? And we know that these countries are calling for a new pricing mechanism when it comes to the price that silver, gold, and platinum are sold for. We know Moscow is starting up the Moscow World Standard, a market that'll compete directly with the LBMA and the COMEX. We know, that China has already set up their own market, the Shanghai Exchange, and there's a number of other markets being developed within these countries. The big thing that we need to remember is that there's basically been what feels like, does it feel like to you, like a media blackout on the whole Brics situation? I mean, I think about the same number of people percentage-wise in the West realize what's going on with Brics that realize the value of precious metals. Like maybe 1 in 100 or 1 in 50 people really grasp just how big this really is right now. And look, it's growing. We're not just talking about Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. There's a list of 19 other countries that have explicitly stated their desire to join the Brics countries. There's also other countries that are on the fence and expressed interest but haven't officially said they want to join the Brics nations. Saudi Arabia being probably the most critical of countries that, as far as we understand, is very, very interested in aligning itself with the Brics organization. Guys, it is going to be a crazy week, crazy year, and likely a very interesting decade ahead as the world is changing right now, right before our very eyes, like it has at no other time during our history, and maybe even possibly the history of the world. One thing for sure, we know how to preserve our value. We know how to preserve our wealth. Precious metals, silver, gold, platinum, that's the glue that binds us together. That's the glue that binds us to our ancestors who lived thousands of years ago anywhere on the planet. I'll be here for you through it all. Like I said earlier, it's a big honor for me when you decide to join me. I'll look forward to seeing you next time. And for now, you could go watch a live stream. I'll see you soon. Thank you.